Hi all, I thought I'd give a little man cave update since we moved to the house. Um, this is the basement in the house, so it's not actually that beautiful. As you can see, the way they do with the floors here and stuff, but that's just the way it is in the basement in Sweden that hasn't been renovated. So in there's the man cave. I have a little storage room here where I store all my old computer stuff, screens, another projector, motherboards, some old Fnatic quick releases, old button boxes, extra aluminium profiles, stuff in my rack, boxes in case I need to ship my screens. Just average storage, which is actually quite nice to have. Keeps it a bit cleaner in the man cave. And here we get into the man cave. So I thought we'll start off on this side over here, where I have a good work area. This used to be an old garage I mean, so it needs some updating and painting and fixing up, but for what it is, it actually works really well. So here I do all kinds of play around with Arduino boards, or building button boxes for myself, or testing stuff, or just being your average nerd. This came built into this room when we moved into the house, so it actually worked out very well. We have toys for boys here, so you can see I got some different paddle shifters, a set of Ashers, some racing machines, buttons, some switches, rotaries. We have more toys here. We have some Arduinos, some Arduino boards, some Tensi cards, some STM cards, a fully working Arduino pit board for iRacing. It's actually a really good little tool, inexpensive and works very well. Let me see if there's nothing more fun watching here. Yeah, I could maybe, just for fun, kicks and giggles, so to say. These ones are quite fun. Relatively cheap, like 4 or 5 euros. You can Google for TM1638 and you can build your own little SLI from it. You need this and a cheap Arduino board working together with a SimHub software that's for free, and it's an amazing little thing. It can do really, really cool stuff. If you just want to play around and learn how to use an Arduino, this is a good way to start if you're into sim racing. We got a friend's lens motor there for an OSW build. I'm gonna help him build. Tools, all kinds of stuff. A little desk for just sitting down, doing some scribbles, and I like to draw on paper before I start anything. So it's nice to have a clean desk for that. We have some steering wheels lying around. Which are going to be worked on, I guess, and someday at some point. Let me get over to the rig and back up a bit here so it's a bit easier to see. You can see I'll go a bit more detail soon, but just to give a quick overview. I designed this myself about 4 years ago. It's evolved quite a lot since then, so the first design I started off with changed loads, but that's part of the fun for me. But just recently, last weekend, I exchanged these profiles to bigger, fatter ones. A little bit for stability, but also just because I love the look of it. I have a LED strip inside the frame, which is actually quite nice. So if I turn the light off, you can see it actually lights up quite nicely. It's actually a lot brighter on the video than it is in reality, but it's quite nice. To go through the stuff a bit quickly, I have 4 of these running SimVibe in chassis mode. Yes, yes, I do need to fix my cables. It's a work in progress. I have some Husky-felt Pro pedals. You can see here where I've added this little piece of aluminium that my friend made for me. So I can hook the card in the box underneath, so it's out of the way. Can't really hurt it in any way. He also made these mounts for the shakers for me, so 4 of those. I've got my OSW, the small midge motor, with an encoder on the back. It's a Synco's encoder. But here you can actually see that how I've mounted my 4th screen, the one on top. It's a bit different than most people do, because most people have it very wide. I have it done like this, and it goes down and goes forward, so I can have a little 5-inch screen hooked on the front. Does actually work pretty well. Over there you can see the Oculus sensor and a webcam for streaming. And here I have an iFlag, also an Arduino based project. Not done by me, but it's a fantastic little tool. You can see this is the back of my button box. So you can see if I go to the side here, where I take out the USB. It's made this myself. This supplies 12 volts and some other stuff to the button box, so I can control some things in there. Where I can, for example, turn off the force feedback on my OSW the same way you can with the emergency stop, so that you can use any of them. And then you get a little bit better view. It's not nice, but it works. Now it's off at the moment, but normally there's like a little LED ring here that can light up. And as I'm just moving around stuff at the moment, they're not hooked in, but one is for turning off the light on the bottom of the rig, the LED strip, and the other one is for turning off and on the force feedback, like the emergency stop over there. Here we have a modified Fanatic Formula 1 wheel, and all these yellow labels are actually for so you can use a blacklight. I mean, so if I turn the light off in here, put the backlight on, they shine, or glow in the dark, which is actually really good. We've been away at an event in Denmark called the GTR 24, or a World Endurance Championship, and it's dark in the room, so it's quite hard to see your labels and what button to press, and when you're changing different drivers for them to get used to the rig, it's a lot easier to see what's going on. We move over a bit. This weekend when I have my friends over, we're like 8-9 of us over here, sim races, drinking beers, eating food and sim racing, and just generally having a good time. I had nowhere to put the mouse, so we did this quick makeshift mouse pad holder, but it actually worked out pretty good. I'm going to redo that a little bit better someday, but for the moment it works. It does what it's supposed to. Let's go for a bit more. We have a Fanatic Club Sport H-shifter, H-pattern shifter, which actually works very well. Then I have my Husky-felt handbrake and Husky-felt sequential shifter. I can, as you can see, the quick release there. If I release that one and one above very easily, I can turn in the whole handbrake so it comes more from the side, which is what you want. When you're using a handbrake, you don't want to pull straight down this way, because it doesn't really feel natural. But I have to do that so I can fit this as well, so I can fold that back to use the H-shifter. It makes it hard to use both at the same time, but it's also very hard to get all of them in place. Back up a little bit, you can see I use 3 27-inch 144 Hz AOC screens, slightly curved. Don't know if you can see that, but it actually works quite nice. I have the side screens on an angle of 51 degrees. I have a little tool so I can measure the angle, so it makes it quite easy. Just an extra screen on top for information, or if you're sitting on TeamSpeak, I can see who's connected and who isn't, Facebook chats or whatever. Makes life a lot easier. Moving on. I have all my stuff mounted in a rack, because we do take it away to LAN events or even just general sim racing events to showcase sim racing. It makes it a lot easier to have it all in a rack and on wheels. So I have obviously my computer with Rgb Leds. I'm not really a big fan of RGB, but in this case they actually are there for a purpose. They change color depending on how warm my computer is. So if the bottom ones here are for my graphics card, and the side ones there are for my CPU. So they change color depending on how warm my CPU or graphics card is, which is quite handy. That's something that's built into Corsair's RGB tools, and it actually works very well. There we have my OSW controller box, and underneath we have the amplifier for the bass shakers and a little toolbox on the bottom. Over here I have just another desk where I either sit down and play in SketchUp or do drawings, or mostly I use it for playing Quake. Oh, there you go. Hope you liked my little tour, and have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.